welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to record and edit YouTube videos, so let's get right on into it. In this video, I'm going to be going through 3 different sections. The first section is how to record, the second section is how to edit YouTube videos, and the third section is some extra tips and tricks for editing. There will be a pinned comment in the description box with all of the timestamps, so if you want to skip to a certain section, just check the comment section. So the first section is how to record. So I use a Mac laptop, and on all Apple computers, there's a program called QuickTime Player. QuickTime Player is built into these devices, and it is the program I use to record. So once you have opened the software, you need to go to the top where it says File and click New Screen Recording, and then it'll basically explain the steps to how to start it. I can't show you right now because I'm recording my screen, but that is how you do it. If you're not using QuickTime Player, I recommend OBS. OBS works really well and it is free. However, it is quite confusing to set up. You probably have to follow a few YouTube tutorials to figure that out. As you can see, I recorded a clip using QuickTime Player. Here it is. And once I've recorded it, I now want to save it so I can edit it. So I'm going to click the X at the top and give it a name. I'm just going to call this footage, and make sure you have a place to save it. So mine's saved to my downloads, and I'm going to click save. Once the tab closes out, you'll know it is saved. So for editing, I use a program called iMovie, and that's what I'm going to be explaining how to use in today's video. iMovie is also available on mobile devices, I believe only for Apple though, but the computer version is a bit different. Some alternatives that are available for other computers are Camtasia, Filmora, and I believe a few more. I can put some on the screen for you, but I'm not sure how many are free. Once you open up iMovie, you should see a screen that looks like this. You need to click the plus button that says Create New, and then select Movie. So now a screen that looks something like this should pop up, and there are a whole bunch of different tabs, and I'll explain them all as we go. But the first thing we need to do is insert our clip. So I'm going to head to my Finder and head over to my downloads, which is where I saved my clip, but yours might be saved at a different location. I'm going to find my footage and drag it and drop it into my timeline. So as you can see, I have just dragged my footage into the bottom bar here. This is called your timeline, and this is where all of your clips will appear, and this is where you will edit them. So over here, you can just see different clips that you've imported into other projects. And at the top, there is a bar over here. We have an audio section. As you can see, we have a whole bunch of sound effects you can use. I don't really use these, but they're cool if you want to experiment with them. Next, we have the titles. This is how you can add text, and here's some plain backgrounds if you want something simple. I don't usually use these, but they're cool to have. And then transitions, and this you place in between clips, a transition and a smooth effect onto the next clip. Then if we move over to the right, there's another bar across the top. This is for a bit of color correction, but I don't use this. If I'm going to change the color of my clips, I use a different section. This is what I'm talking about. If I want to brighten a clip or darken a clip, I can just use this section right here. You can also change the saturation and change the warmth or coolness. One clip over is the crop tool, and there's a few other tools in here, but I will get to those in a bit. And over here, this is something you won't need if you're recording your screen, but if you have a very shaky video, you can use this. Now this clip doesn't have any audio, but if it did, I could use this button to make it louder or quieter, and you won't need this one. On the next one, we have the speed tab. This is just a speed and slow down clips. On the next one, this is to add some filters for both your voice and the video. Now over here, this tells you the length of your video, and on this side, you can basically drag this to extend it and spread it out. So if you're trying to cut a clip at a very specific point, or if you need to add text at a very certain point, you can just drag this out. I usually leave this somewhere in the middle. That's usually good for me. So now let's get into a bit more. So this is a video clip of me playing Tower of Hell, and as you can see in the beginning, you can see myself switching over from Roblox to Tower of Hell. So I want to cut out the part of me being in Roblox first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this white line and I'm going to drag it to where the Roblox clip ends and where the Tower of Hell starts. So I'm going to go about there, and I want to split this clip and delete the beginning. So to do that, use Command and B to split, and then as you can see, the clip is now split into 2. So now what I'm going to do is select the first clip. You'll know it's selected if it has a yellow box, and I'm going to press delete on my keyboard, and as you can see, the video starts with me in Tower of Hell. Okay, so I've decided that in the beginning, I don't want the timer to be seen, I just want my character to be shown. So I'm going to split another section using Command B, and I'm going to head over to the crop tool and click crop to fill. Now this allows you to crop a certain part of the video. So I'm going to crop this inward and drag this down. And then if I click out and go back to the timeline and play, which you can play either by pressing space or by pressing the play button right here. As you can see, this section of the video is cropped and you can't see any of the outside bits. So that's how you crop videos. And for the next section that I'm going to split, I realized that maybe it's too dark and I want it to be brighter. So I'm going to head over to the color correction tool and make this a bit brighter. I think that's a lot better. So now when I click play, now I want a transition between these two clips. They look cool, but I want something in between them. So heading over to the transitions tab, I'm going to select one that I like. I think I'm going to go simple for now though, and I'm just going to choose wipe left. My favorite transitions to use are the cross blur transition, any of the wipe transitions, and the ripple transition. I use those the most. So now if I click play, there is a wipe transition. It's kind of hard to see because the clips are basically the same, but you can kind of see it there. And don't worry if your video is kind of laggy in this box up here. It won't be as laggy when you export it. Also, mine's really laggy because I'm recording and my computer's struggling to handle both iMovie and my recorder. Now I want to add some music. So if I head over to audio and head over to theme music, there are a few songs that you can use. These are all non-copyright, but personally I don't really like them as they're all a bit basic. So what you can do is either download videos on YouTube, or you can screen record songs on YouTube, which is what I usually do. Or YouTube has a whole audio library where you can download non-copyright songs from there. So I just downloaded a song called Monogram, and it's in my downloads folder on my computer. So I'm going to select it and drag it below my video clip, and now my video has music. I can also change the volume of this music by clicking it and going over to the volume tab and making it louder or quieter. To add text, just select one of these that you want. They all have cool special effects if you want. I think I'll use the expand one. I'm going to click it and drag it across the section where I want the text to start, and I can use my mouse and place it at the end of the section to make it last for longer or for shorter. To change the text, click on it, click on the screen, and type whatever you want. Now I want to highlight it and I can change the font. There are a bunch of options to choose, so I'm going to use Futura Medium, and here I can change how it is aligned. I can add an outline, I can make it bold, I can make it italic. Maybe I want to make this blue. I think I'm going to add an outline to it. So now if I X out of that and I click play, I now have text on my screen. So those are the basics of editing. Now we're going to get into a few extra tips and tricks. The first extra tip or trick, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to show you how to do is how to have this cool sliding effect. You can see I have my screen sliding across. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split another clip. I'll split this one about here using Command B, select it, and head over to the crop tool. And as you can see, it's currently in crop to fill, but I'm going to change it to Ken Burns. Now there are two boxes. I'm going to click the start one, and I'm going to crop it and put it in the position where I want the sliding to start. So maybe I want the clip to zoom out, so I'll start it close like that. Now I'm going to click the end box and I'm going to make it a bit smaller like this, but still bigger than the first one, and place it outside. So now if I go and I click play, the clip is zooming out. So that's the first trick. Now, like I showed you earlier, there are some cool text options in here, but there are a few limitations. So first of all, there's no plain text that doesn't have any like zoom in effect. Sometimes I just want like regular text, and also you can't move them around the screen. So for example, I can't have this text higher up on the screen, like this position is where it's going to be. So I'm going to show you how I get text to pop up anywhere on the screen. So I use a website called pixlr.com. I've talked about this website in a few videos before, but it works really well for this stuff. So on the website, again, pixlr.com, I'll leave a link in the description. I'm going to click Pixlr X at the top and click create new at the side, and then you can just keep the sizing that it is. The size doesn't really matter, so I'm going to click create. Then as you can see, we just have a big canvas. This should open. So I'm going to head over to the paint tool and click the shape, and then select the green and drag it all the way across my screen. So basically we're creating a green screen, and now I'm going to go to the text button and add a text saying whatever I want it to say. And I'm going to head over to the font and select any font I want. There's so many. I'm using my favorite font, which is called Cherry. You do have to download it from a website called thefont.com, which I'm not going to be explaining how to do today, but I'll link a tutorial in the description. So I'm going to select it, and then this part I can just change the color to whatever. I will just add an outline, and I'll make it purple, and then after making it a bit bigger, and now I can place it wherever I want. So I'll put it closer to the bottom, and I'm going to click save, give it a name, very creative like that. that and then click download. Then open up iMovie and then open up your download, find the file and drag it into iMovie above the clip where you want it to be placed. Make sure it goes above, otherwise it will be in between the clips. So now I'm going to click it and I'm going to go to this first layer button and I'm going to check green/blue screen. So this will get rid of the green background. And as you can see, now I have the text. But when I play, the text is zooming in, as you can see. So if you want to keep that, that's totally fine. But if I go to the crop, I can see that it's currently set on Ken Burns. I'm going to set it to crop to fill. So then when I play, I now just have text on the screen. And this is what I do for all of mine because I find it so much better than using the text in here. The trick I'm going to show you in this video is how I blur out my background. So I'm going to split another section. I don't think many people know how to do this, so I'll show you it. So you need to go over to the title section and scroll down until you find the text that says pull focus, and you want to drag it over your clip. Then you want to edit the text and you just want to delete it. You don't want any text. And as you can see, now you don't have any text, but this text blurs out the rest of the background. Now during this section, I'll have a blurred out background. And the last thing I'm going to show you how to do is I'm going to show you how to add images on top of your video. So if you want a little picture to appear in the corner, you're going to open up your computer and find an image you want to use. I'll just add in this picture of a thumbnail because it's the first one I found. So again, I'm going to click it and drag it on top of the clip. This is super important because if you drag it in between the clips, it won't layer, it'll just be by itself. So I'm going to drag it on top of the text. I'm going to drag it on top of the clip and I'm going to head over to the crop tool and again select crop to fill unless I want it to zoom in, but usually for my pictures I don't. And now I'm going to head back to this layer button and instead of clicking green/blue screen, I'm going to click picture in picture. Now I can use this tool to make it as big as I want or as small as I want, and I can drag it and place it right here. And now I have a picture that shows up on the screen and I can just drag it to change the length of the picture, and you can do the same thing with this text and also with these texts. So that is all I'm going to show you in today's tutorial. If you have any more questions about editing, please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to help you out. So thank you so much for watching and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye, pearls!